The Modern Prison, a story of freedom and the paradox of choice. You're standing in a store. In front of you are 27 types of jam, 73 kinds of toothpaste, 203 models of headphones. You came for one simple thing, but now you're paralyzed. The more options, the longer the choice, the more doubts, and the less joy from what you eventually buy. Congratulations, you've just encountered a quiet but one of the most agonizing paradoxes of modernity, the paradox of choice. This isn't about shopping, it's about your life, your career, your relationships. This is the story of how the society of abundance, which gave us unprecedented freedom, subtly replaced it with a new form of slavery, the slavery of endless alternatives. And today, we won't be looking for an answer to what to choose. We will be looking for an answer to how to stop suffering while choosing. Because sometimes, the best choice is the art of boldly cutting off 9 extra paths to finally walk the one and only. Our journey begins where, it would seem, the peak of human freedom lies. Imagine your grandparents. They didn't have a choice of which pasta to buy. There was one. Which institute to study at? The nearest one they could get into based on grades. Who to work as? By assignment. It's a world of limitations, but also of a strange clarity. Then the boundaries collapsed. The world exploded with possibilities, and we, their children and grandchildren, entered an era they couldn't even dream of. Choose everything: country, profession, gender, lifestyle. Each of us became the king of our own little world, where all roads are open. And the first years of this freedom were intoxicating. But then something strange began. The more options we had, the anxiety grew. Not the tension of possibilities, but anxiety. The anxiety of missed opportunities. Scientifically, FOMO, fear of missing out. The fear that by choosing path A, you will forever lose the magical horizons of paths B, C, D, and all the others. The hero of our time no longer fights scarcity. He drowns in abundance. His sword is opportunity. But each new option doesn't add to his strength. It takes away a piece of peace of mind. We've turned life into an endless supermarket where you need to choose one perfect product out of a million. And this choice supposedly determines all our happiness. This is the trap. The great illusion that more choice equals more freedom equals more happiness. But the equation fails. Now let's look inside the machine that's breaking down. Why doesn't abundance make us happier, but makes us neurotic? The first reason, increased expectations. When there are 2 options, it's easy to forgive yourself a small mistake. Well, I didn't choose the best tea out of 2. When there are 50 types, any disappointment sounds like a verdict in your head. Among these 50, there was one perfect for me, and I missed it. I'm a failure. We begin to believe in the myth of the perfect choice, the one and only that will lead to a perfect life, and any real choice against its background seems like a defeat. The second, more insidious reason, anticipated regret. We begin to suffer even before we make a choice, just from the thought that by choosing one thing, we are giving up everything else. Buying one phone, we are already sad about the features another model has. Accepting one job, we already fear the career trajectories that would open up in another. We mourn alternatives we haven't even lost yet. The third reason, emotional exhaustion. Every choice, even a small one, which movie to watch tonight, requires mental energy. And when there are hundreds of such choices a day, decision fatigue sets in. The brain, exhausted by trifles, gives up when facing the major decisions of life. As a result, the hero freezes at the crossroads. He no longer sees open roads. He sees a maze, where each door, opening one path, forever closes 10 others. And this burden of possibilities becomes unbearable. The freedom our ancestors didn't have has turned into torture for us. Paralysis sets in. And then many do what seems like salvation, but is actually surrender. They refuse to choose. They prefer to go with the flow, let circumstances, a partner, or social media algorithms choose for them. They have exchanged the agony of choice for the emptiness of willlessness. But there is a way out of this maze. It requires not more willpower, but different thinking. You don't need a compass pointing to the perfect north. You need an internal filter that cuts off unnecessary directions. This is the philosophy of the satisficer as opposed to the maximizer. The maximizer looks for the best option by exploring everything. The satisficer looks for an option that is good enough based on clear, pre-established criteria, and having found it, stops looking. Their goal is not perfection, but sufficiency, after which they can move on with life, not regret. How to apply this? Step 1. Conscious limitation. You yourself introduce scarcity for yourself. I choose only from the first 3 suitable options. I give myself 20 minutes for this choice, then I stop. I trust a verified source. I don't read all the reviews online. You are not depriving yourself of choice. You are freeing yourself from the tyranny of endless search. Step 2. Separating decisions. You determine which decisions in your life are truly important, profession, partner, place to live, and which are trash decisions, what to wear, what to eat for lunch, which series to watch. For trash decisions, you create rules, habits, or delegate them to someone to avoid spending mental energy on them. Steve Jobs wore the same black turtleneck, not out of poverty, but to avoid wasting energy on choosing clothes. Step 3. The most important. Accepting opportunity costs. You must accept as law, by choosing one thing, you are always giving up something else. And that's okay. It's not a defeat. It's the essence of any action. Instead of regretting the lost horizons on the unchosen road, you focus on making your road so bright and interesting that you don't want to look back. You stop idealizing alternatives and start improving reality. The paradox of choice is not a sentence, it's a diagnosis of the era, and the cure for it is not to dream of the past with its one type of sausage, but to become a wise architect of your own limitations. Happiness lies not in maximizing choice, but in minimizing regret. Your strength is not in keeping all doors open, but in boldly and confidently closing most of them so that the one you walk through leads into your life, not into an endless waiting room. Next time you're standing in front of a shelf with 27 jams, remember, you don't need the perfect one, you need the one you'll like. And even better, take the first one that seemed good enough and spend the half hour you saved enjoying its taste with loved ones. The world won't collapse from your imperfect choice. On the contrary, it will begin when you stop choosing and start living.